Welcome, listeners. This week on Just Neapolitan, we talk about video games. I'm joined by Eddie, and Maggie has finally returned!
Yay!
Woo! Insert clapping sounds.
Back. I don't have a broken back, and I'm not sick. That's crazy. It's crazy. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be here with both of you, even though Floyd's not here. But that's his own choice, so...
And I'm your resident, unseasoned mid-tier, Bryan. Quite possibly the longest pause between those that I've ever done.
Listen, it was for a good reason.
It was for a good
reason.
Amazing reason.
Man, so little has changed in season 2, but it's still it's good to have you.
Well, I haven't been around for season 2, so even if there were changes, I'm not accustomed to them, and you just have to deal with that. So.
Yeah. There's 20 flavors of ice cream. And we picked number 14.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one. Share a gaming memory from childhood.
Oh, okay. So one of my favorite memories of gaming when I was a kid was me and my sisters, our like first real console was the PS2. And so that was something that all three of us had to share. And my dad would just buy us like any game that we kind of pointed at, and we were like, that one. And he was like, okay. So he would buy us like racing games, like car racing games. And I had a Mustang. I don't remember exactly what the name of this game was, but it was like Mustang racing. And
like Mustang the horse? No, the car. You said that already. Sorry.
Yes, thank you. Yes. And I one time was playing against my dad, and my dad's not an avid like video gamer, but you know, he was humoring me at the age of like 10 or something. And I had been playing this game so much that I had gotten really good at it. Like really, really good. And my dad was like, a 10-year-old can't beat me. Like, there's no way a 10-year-old could beat me. And I did. I kicked his ass. And he was devastated. So he bet me that I couldn't beat him playing with one hand. Like one hand on the controller. And I said, bet. So we played. And I, again, beat him. with one hand on the controller. And then he was like, no, let's go another time. So we race a third time, and he covered my eyeballs. He took his hand and he covered my eyes so I couldn't see the race, and was like, basically like, shut the fuck up, like, you're not gonna beat me this time. And I was blindfolded. I hit a wall. My car did a flip, landed on its wheels again. I kept going, and I still beat him. So that's one of my favorite childhood memories of playing a video game, is that I kicked my dad's ass.
Kicking my ass.
Not one, not two, but 3 times in a single racing game. And it's still, in my family, it is still something that is talked about to this day, so.
Yeah, that story is exactly why I won't play games online. You can't beat 10-year-olds. They have nothing to do but play the game.
But play game, exactly.
It's
and my
over.
dad was like, my dad was watching me play like the Bratz games and all this stuff, and he was like, oh, haha, she's having so much fun. And then I'd be like, okay, put on the ATV racer. Put on, fuck, what was it called? Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. Put that on and see what happens. See what happens real fast.
I'm gonna fuck you up, daughter.
You in my house now.
And literally, I might be living under your roof, right, but now you're in my roof, territory.
It's my house.
Well, Maggie, to your story, especially the part about your car hitting a wall and flipping over and you still winning, as somebody who plays Rocket League against what I'm sure is 10 and up year olds, I appreciated that story so much. I thank you for that.
You just came up with a new name for preteens. They're not preteens anymore. They're up yours olds.
No, literally. That's exactly how I felt. Was like, nobody can top me. Nobody can stop me ever.
I like that. I didn't expect it. I like that one.
Thank you.
And now she's playing cozy games.
Well, not necessarily. Listen, we'll get into it, but you know, I'm playing a variety of games at the moment.
It's fair.
Bryan, would you like me to go next?
Yeah, go for it, Ed, bro.
I love that. I use that name for certain games. I love it. This childhood. Was there a cutoff age in this?
No.
Because I had two different ones, but my fondest and latest, and considering how I consider myself old, this is going to be old to me. When I first met our young Floyd and Jeff, I remember we were having we just gotten to know each other, really. Like, we knew each other, but we high school knew each other. We were friends now. Well, I was their friend. They had been friends. So I come in and I'm trying to gauge their gaming perception and what they like to do. Of course, everybody's always the complete fucking opposite from me, but I found out Jeff was a shooter. None of that matters in this. But
okay.
I go, hey, I'm playing this game called RuneScape. And they looked at me like, RuneScape, that old ass shit, even in 2007, when the game was still fairly out for, they still considered it an old ass game. And I was just like, man, so what I'm playing, why don't you play MapleStory? If you remember MapleStory, it is the first gacha game of its kind. It's what set off the crazy bullshit. And I'm like, I do my usual, I didn't go on YouTube. I think I just went to fucking played the fucking game. Wow. Anyways, I get on the game. They get in there and they have these like level 40 and level 30 characters, and I'm level 1 and I have nothing but my fist, and they don't do any damage either. And I'm like, man, this shit fucking sucks. This game's childish as fuck. I don't want to play this shit. Fuck you guys. This is stupid. And Floyd does just play the game. Shut the fuck up. And all right, we play. For the next 4 days, at least 10 hours a fucking night, we are just grinding, hitting mushrooms, and just having the boys are back in town type night. And
the boys are back in town.
Exactly. And because air horn sounds. Because my younger brother is so, at that point, he was too young to like play games with me. I never really had anybody to like play games with, except for those random occurrences where cousins were in town, and you only play certain games in those things. So like finally playing an online game with the people I consider friends, and I'm talking about high school no lifing it to the fullest. It's one of my fondest fucking memory of gaming in general, and it saddens me to say, to finish the story off, that because I'm a nutcase, I kept playing that game for 8 years while they stopped like 3 months after that. That's.
You said, but come on, guys.
Oh, God.
What do you mean you're not into it anymore?
I'm sorry, let me redact that because that was a lie. Seeing as how we were playing this game in 2007 or 2008, one of the two of the years, the last time I played this game was last year with my little brother, the same one who wasn't old enough to play that game back then. So I've been playing this game.
Story moment.
Oh yeah, he turned. Can I deviate a little bit, Bryan, without too much?
It's our podcast. Who's going to stop you?
Hey, I would like to say, because
don't look at me like I'm like the podcast police.
No, I try
live
to
for chaos.
I am a ranter of the highest order. I get going, and then until I realize that I'm not shutting the fuck up. So I like to cut myself off and breathe every once in a while before I go all Busta Rhymes on shit.
I like the episodes you ran a lot more than the ones you don't say anything, homie.
Toupee. Yes, I said toupee.
No, proudly bald. Okay. Fuck off.
Fuck off. Okay, to get to where I was going. Those moments playing MapleStory with them, and like, I didn't look back on it. We played a lot of random ass games. Cool. It took me like a few years ago, literally, to realize my little brother must have been watching me like a fucking hawk while I played these games, because I sat and thought about it. All the games that he still currently plays are all the shit that me, Floyd, and Jeff were playing back in the day. And I'm like, it's fucked up because I always looked at you as somebody else. I'm not playing that shit with you. But when I really think about it, when I got done with the computer, he was right behind me, like, oh, it's my turn.
Ready to go.
Night shift's gone. It's me. And I'm like, fuck, I don't feel like a bad brother at all because there was one computer. You can't, it's not fucking happening. But at the same time, when I did have the ability to, I didn't. And I'm like, that's fucked up, man. He played games with me. I could have made fond memories with him. And then when we did finally start playing games together, I realized it never was going to fucking work.
My youngest sister, she's 2 years younger than me, and my older sister is 3 years older than me, so I'm like right in the middle pretty much.
Same.
And my older sister didn't get her own computer for a long time. I got my own computer when I was in like 12 or 13, but I'm talking it was still one of those like chunky, like big ass computer monitors. And then my younger sister, when she got her first computer, it was when the first like slim monitor came out. And so me and my older sister were like, oh my fucking God, this is the sexiest thing you could have ever made in technology. Like, what do you mean it's a thin monitor? But okay, to paint a picture, my younger sister's computer, quote unquote, was in my room. My room was the only space that it could be held. So I would use her computer a lot because it was in my room. However, my room didn't have a door. So it had an archway that had like streamers in front of it, but not a real door. And we lived like me and my sister's rooms were on the second floor of our home. So and my room was all the way on the other end of the floor, but I could hear people coming up the stairs because, again, I didn't have a door. I didn't have anything like blocking me from that. So I would be on her computer and I would hear someone coming up the stairs and I would be trying to like exit out of any browsers that I was on. And she would slam open the door and she was like, are you on my computer? And I would be like exiting like so quickly exiting out of things. I was like, no, I swear I'm not on it. And she would start sprinting down the hallway. And again, didn't have a door, so I could see her coming. And I was like, please, I'm not on the computer, I swear. Like she couldn't see me. Like she couldn't see me literally sitting at the desk on the computer. But then immediately after, like fist fighting each other, we'd be like, oh, do you want to play cats and dogs? And we would just play
instead of fight like
game.
Cats and dogs. Oh, yeah. Nailed it.
And then we would sit on the same chair and play the game Cats and Dogs on our computer.
Wow. The love of a sister.
I do. I love being a middle sister. I love being a mediator between the two, especially. So.
Gee, I wonder why you went into the field you did.
Listen, they both went into psychology too. They just took different routes than I did.
That's fair. But hey, now you don't have to worry about stealing people's computers. That's
true. Other people built my computer.
There you go. I built my own.
Mine's slowly melting.
I was going to say, and Eddie's also here.
and Eddie.
Hey.
No, it's so funny that for so long that I didn't have the PC and like all this stuff. Like now I'm like, I had the realization the other day. I'm like, man, I get why you guys kept doing it because I'll forget all the time Eddie's PC is not working. And I'll be like, oh, Eddie, jump on. We're going to do. You can't do that.
I can try.
Even like, I mean, Bryan didn't have his computer for months, and I would still be like, who wants to play? Oh.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, why? Never mind.
And it just sucks too because, it brought to the forefront, like, how many games are not cross-platform still?
Yeah.
Because I have the Series X. They're literally the same games, but it's like, oh, but you can't do that. Like, but why?
Mm-hmm.
But there's some good that came of that. I became a phenomenal Rocket League player because it's one of the games that can be ran with a potato. It's just, I love it for that. I don't need graphics to play soccer with a car.
Yeah.
I do,
well,
but
you basically like just become a 10-year-old again.
It's like
one of the things with adults is like, oh, I can afford any game I want. I don't have time to play them. You're like, this is the game I can play.
Yep, it is free as hell.
I mean,
Only thing you pay for is customizations. And if you've ever played a game with me, I don't give a fudge.
Yeah.
A singular fudge. It's like, oh, paint my car white. I don't care. What?
Yeah, I will always make do with the free cosmetics.
Oh. Yeah, no, I'm one of those. If I could take it off and sell it to you for some in-game money, I would. Have these clothes, my man.
Yeah. I guess it's my turn now, huh?
Yeah.
So
Childhood gaming memories.
Okay, I got a ton of them, but honestly, the one that's on my forefront of my mind right now is because it's something I've been working on, kind of off and on. I was literally doing it before we did the podcast. I know Maggie. I know you at least know because I talked about it. It was one of those rare days that I did a stream. I'm doing kind of like a retrospective of Final Fantasy VI, and basically just like a how I remember it thing. And so I've been writing notes for that. And then, like, recording, because I think I actually want to put a video together. Actually have something on our YouTube channel. But, so, just my big memory is Final Fantasy VI and, like, having a friend over for the weekend. And I never owned the game. Literally, like, until, like, I was 30, I never owned the game. And by then, I owned it on PC. I mean, I had flown the flag before then, but, yeah. But I just remember renting it, and so I'd have to replay the beginning of the game all the time. And I had a friend that he would always come over, and he'd stay the weekend a lot of times. Like, you'd have sleepover, and your friend just stays the weekend, because that's just the thing you did as kids.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which, when I look back now, I'm like, that's weird. That's weird that parents let that happen. Like, yeah, you go take care of my kid for 3 days. I don't give a shit.
I think that was something that we as kids just never recognized how much like communication there had to be between parents. And I think thinking about it now is like there wasn't that much communication between parents. So it was like, oh, my kid wants to spend the weekend at your place. Great. Take care of him. I'll pick him up on Monday. And there was no communication over the weekend. And I think that's what's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Is like if I had a kid now and they were spending the weekend at a friend's house, I would be texting on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday. Like, how are they doing? Is everything okay? But
yeah. Whereas if I had a kid and they wanted to go to their friends for the weekend, I would sell the house and move away so they could never find me again.
oh, Bryan.
I don't want kids, so if I somehow ended up with one, I would get rid of it as quickly as possible. Anyway, so the big memory here, Eddie, what this one comes down to is just like being up all night and having to sneak back out in the living room after pretending we went to sleep. And having like the TV down so low you could barely hear the game, and like whispering and like with the light on. The big memory is in Zozo, one of the cities. So to get a special weapon, you have to, there's a clock with the hand stopped. And you're supposed to change it to the correct hour, the minute, and the second hand. And it opens a secret passage and you get this weapon. And we had done this part because, like I said, I never owned the game, which means that every time you rented it, your saved game wasn't there. And we had redone this part. I don't know how many times, and we could never for the life of us remember what the goddamn code was. And we were so dumb that there's clues in the town that we never figured out. Like, I'm talking like until I was 30, I didn't realize that the town itself gave the answer. You just had to like go around and be clever about it. We never did it. We would always like, it was like, oh, I know this is like the hour. And we would just like brute force that fucking code every weekend. Never once thinking to write it down or anything. Like, and looking back, I'm like, how stupid were we? But I'm also like, but it was so much fun every time. And this is like, my whole thing, this games being a social thing is, it didn't matter that we forgot it. It didn't matter that we'd spend an hour trying to brute force this every time we did it. Get to the point where it's like, man, maybe that wasn't the hour. And then switch the hour randomly when we had like 4 numbers left to look at in the one. Just the dumbest ways we did it. But it didn't matter because the whole point was you're hanging out with your friend playing a game.
Right.
Yeah.
That was
good
that
times.
Was Kids are dumb.
No, that's
Memories are fun.
memories are fun, and especially I think memories related to video games or any sort of game, whether it's board game or like outside game, is very fun. I also think, I mean, I think all three of us grew up in somewhat different times. I mean, like I grew up in the 90s and early 2000s, and you guys are old. So I know that
I also grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s.
But I know that we are of different age brackets and stuff like that. But I think we all grew up in a time where it was really important to, one, like be outside playing with friends, but two, video games were really big too. So I think being able to remember the good times of playing those as kids is really fun and has made us who we are today in terms of gamer girls. So
we used to LARP, and I didn't know what LARPing was. No, seriously, we would play D&D in my one friend's yard, but we'd play it like live action. Like we were the characters running around doing stuff.
I used to do some stuff like that too.
But yeah, we'd have like our character sheets. So every once in a while we'd have to stop and like roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were weird kids.
I mean, yes.
Yes. I was gonna say, listen, yes. But also, yes. That's how I always remember, like, the looks of people. Like, do you ever have that thing where like, as kids, you're out playing in the yard doing dumb shit, and whatever you're doing, like, people driving by, like, slow down so they can stare at you?
Yeah, it was weird.
It is weird, because here's my thing about that. What, were you never a kid? What is so fucking weird about every kid does that shit?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta, I've never seen kids playing before. What?
I guess you never had a childhood, like.
The fucking boomers, man, they're weird. I don't know. What do you want? They've always
Very
been
true.
weird. It's not like they're suddenly weird that they're old now. They've been weird their entire life. It's all
Yeah.
the fucking lead paint.
That's very
man.
true.
I'm telling you.
That's so true.
I'm being dead serious. I honestly think it's the lead that is a lot of those problems.
That would make sense.
Well, you know,
I don't think anyone would disagree with you.
yeah. I mean, honestly, when you have like minute lead poisoning, it makes you paranoid and angry. That's like two of the main things that happen.
And for it to happen to a whole generation,
Yeah, it's almost like there's
more likely
probably
than
an
you
underlying
think.
cause to this. Do you think maybe?
Damn.
At least our hatred.
I'm
is
not
rare
agree with
these
Bryan.
days.
Oh, yeah.
There's still a shit ton of it, and a lot of dumb people around. And I'm not getting into that. You guys want to talk about video games again? I was starting to depress myself, and I don't want to.
I would love to talk about what I've been doing since I haven't been around for like, I don't know, like 6 weeks or
I
something
would
like that.
also love that.
So
Today will be our first 3-hour episode.
No. That's not going to happen. But as it was mentioned on the podcast before, on the podcast it was said that I had broke my back. Now
Yes.
that's a little a little bit of a lie, but I have
Allow us to embellish.
I have chronic sciatica. So basically my leg gave out and I couldn't use my left leg for like a whole month. So it gave me a lot of time to play a lot of different video games. And I have Apple Arcade now, so I was playing a lot of games on my phone because I couldn't really move and anything like that. But Bryan and I have been very excited for the remaster of Persona 3. And
yeah, not the portable remaster, an actual one.
No, the actual remaster. And I had gotten into Persona 3 like I guess 2 years ago now at this point. Bryan and I had been talking about it. I saw it on Game Pass. Bryan said that I would like it. I started playing it and I absolutely fell in love with it. It was one of my favorite games really quickly, and it was portable. That was the version I was playing. But I had dropped off of it like maybe 70 hours into the game, I was like, okay, that's enough for me. What I didn't realize was going to happen when the new version came out is that they were going to take the old version off of Game Pass and put the new version on. So, not that I necessarily lost my 70 hours of gameplay. Like, if I bought the game, it'll still be there, but I'm not going to buy the game. That's crazy. I'm not spending my money. So, I just started playing the remastered version that just came out. Persona 3 Reloaded. Or Reload, I guess is what it's called. Just came out. And I've been playing that for the last couple of days, and I was telling both Eddie and Bryan before playing it that it's really fun. I'm having a great time. There's some like different mechanics from the original that I think are really cool, and I don't want to necessarily spoil anything if people are like planning on playing it, but the story is ultimately the
Fuck
same.
that.
It's
a
exactly
remake.
The same.
You spoil it.
Yeah.
No, fuck that. Remakes don't get that type of shit. Even if it's a game I love and one of the few remakes I will buy, spoil the fuck out of it. It's a fucking remake. We don't show remakes respect. There is no respect for remakes. There's love, no respect.
The story is exactly the same. The graphics of it are absolutely amazing. I'm having a great time doing that. The voice actors are obviously different for a lot of the voices, which is kind of throwing me off a little bit. The music is kind of garbage. I'm not going to lie. I'm a big Persona 3 music fan, and the remake of the music was not necessary at all. I think they did a horrible job, and no tea, no shade to the people singing in the remake, but it's not good.
Oh,
when the moon reaching out stars.
Yeah.
Okay, which is a song you hear all the fucking time. It's goddamn iconic.
It's happening all the time, no matter what you're doing, and it's bad. It's bad. It's so bad that sometimes I literally mute my game because I can't listen to it. But I'm trying to think off the top of my head of some of the new mechanics they added. Like, so something I'm doing with the new game, because I've already played through the game technically, except for the very end of it. In the new version, they have all these different gameplay styles or whatever. So there's peaceful, and then there's easy, medium, hard, and then merciless. So peaceful, I've been playing the game on peaceful because I don't necessarily care about the combat right now because, again, I've already played the game and I'm trying to kind of get through the story to get to the end. But I didn't plan on playing peaceful the entire game. I just wanted to get through the beginning on peaceful because I was like, I don't care. I've played the game before. I know how the game works. I just wanted to get through it. However, it is very easy, obviously, on peaceful. So I just switched it over to easy because I was like, damn, this is not fun when it's this easy. And something about Persona 3, if you've never played it before, one of the mechanics is that when you do really well in a battle, you get the shuffle, which is cards are shuffled for you. And you try to keep up to get the card that you want. And it can be XP, it can be money, it can be all sorts of things. But when you're playing on peaceful, they don't even shuffle it for you. They're like, here are the cards. Which one would you like? What card do you want? And you're like, oh, I guess this one. They're like, here you go. And you're just like, oh, thank you, I guess. So I've started playing on easy because I missed the shuffling. Anyway, something I was saying to Eddie and Bryan earlier is that I had Googled something early on into my gameplay because I thought it was really interesting. And if you haven't played Persona 3, I've never played the original. I've only played portable. But in the portable version, you can play as the main character as a male, which is the quote-unquote correct way to play it, is how it was intended, to play with a male character. But in portable, they gave you the option of playing as a female character as well. And they tell you to play as the female character after you've already played through the story the first time as the male character to get the actual full story and everything like that. And the female character is kind of like you can get all these different side things. So Persona 3 Reload came out. I started playing it, and I was like, that's so interesting. They didn't give me the option to play as a woman. And I was wondering if that was a feature that was going to be introduced later, or if it's introduced after you finish the game, whatever. And so I Googled it. And I'm sorry, this is so fucking funny to me. The first thing that popped up was, why is the FemMC, so like, you know, the female main character, why is the FemMC not in Persona 3 Reload? And it's a Reddit post.
Oh god.
And it says, and I started laughing. It says, it's because the remake isn't a visual novel anymore, and girls, as far as I know, could really only enjoy Persona in the visual novel format. It just appeals to them more that way. Period. and that's the end of the sentence. And this was in September of 2023. So it's not like it was that long ago. But I was playing the game and I Googled it because I was like, I know the game. There's nothing really being spoiled for me except the like end of the story. Like, I know everything that happens in the story except for the very end of the story. So I wasn't really scared about anyone, you know,
all right, you didn't have to worry
ruining
about spoilers.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about spoilers or anything like that. So I Googled it, and that was the first thing that popped up.
So
I started laughing. I was like, I'm sorry. It's like, the thing is, okay, as a woman,
we all
first and
know
foremost,
that gamer girls aren't real.
First and foremost, we don't exist. But second of all,
you are a legend.
And I'm like a unicorn. I'm like a unicorn in the gaming world.
I want to be a unicorn.
But
So pretty.
I have been gaming since I was a kid, as we just talked about.
Yeah.
And in high school, I did get really into visual novels. I thought they were really fun to play, even though there was no like gameplay aspect of it. It was just literally reading through a book, like a choose your own adventure. I had a lot of fun with that. However, I was also still playing like other video games at the time. To call Persona 3 in any aspect, even the portable version, a visual novel is almost laughable to me, because there's literally all of this combat, all of this movement, all of this like tactical like gameplay to it that you actually have to think about. And listen, I am not someone who thinks a lot about my gameplay. If I have to overthink about how I'm going to attack a monster in a lot of games, I throw it to the side. Listen, like with Monster Hunter, I played it for a little bit, threw it to the side because I was like, this is too much for me. Persona made a lot of sense to me because it was like, it just how visually it looked. It made more sense to me as a gameplay style. But I would never call it a visual novel just because there are visual novel aspects of it.
Well,
it's not, it
has a story.
Yeah.
So technically then, every video game is a visual novel, including Call of Duty, because there's a story. So if you want to accept
that's what I'm saying.
Then yes.
That's what I'm saying is, like, if you're going to call it a visual novel, are you thinking of all games like this, a visual novel, where there is combat, where there is like a tactical aspect, where there is like all of this stuff? Or are you thinking, did you not play the portable version? And are you thinking that it's just going through the storyline? Because that's different. That would be considered, in my mind personally, a visual novel, in that if I was making different choices, that's how it affected the story, and I could replay the story and get a different outcome, whatever. But the fact that like this person was saying that, like, me, a woman, opened the game and said male or female choice, female. And even when you open the game, it says, hey, just so you know, if you want the actual like main story,
if you want to
plot,
play the visual novel, you have to play as a guy, because that's all the story.
Yeah. If you want the actual story, play as a guy. once you play as a guy, go ahead and play again as a girl to get different aspects of the story. And as a woman who loves character creation, as a woman who loves to like make little characters and play as a woman in video games, I was like, okay, bet. And I just played as a dude. I didn't question it. I was like, that's fine. But to open this and read this, I didn't even click on the link to like see what other people were saying, because I'm sure people were ripping this person to shreds. Like, I'm sure there were people that also agree with him.
Well,
whatever.
Can I just be honest about this? I think that was a troll statement. I think the way that the comment was,
so.
Well, I think the way the comment was written too. I think the telling one for me is that girls. So either a troll and they're trying to like use like kiddie type language to try and get the satire across, or it's an 8-year-old and who cares about their opinion.
It was just
darn. I wish you'd get smacked more. Like, that's all I can think.
It's just so funny to me. Like reading it was so funny to me. And if it is a troll, they got me. They got me good. If it's not, it's just one of those things where I'm like, what?
I mean, huh? I thought you were gonna say that somebody was like, "Go woke, go broke." That's what I thought was coming out of this. So I applaud like the originality of your misogyny. You should put a little thought into it, not just regurgitating fucking Fox News bullshit. Go put on some white go-go boots and move to Florida, okay? Kiss my fucking ass.
But overall, I've been having a really good time playing the game. I think aside from the music, it's really well done. It's really fun. Again, I already know the story, but again, I played portable too, so I didn't get to run around as the character or anything like that. So being able to do that, I just punched my microphone. Sorry. Being able to do that and stuff now has been really, really fun. And aside from that, for the month of January, because I haven't been around for all of January, I played a lot of Apple Arcade games. I played Wildflowers, which I've talked about on here before. That gives you the option of like changing the time. So like you can do relaxed, normal, or challenged for timing, like in Stardew. And they've been updating that. And actually, fun fact, they had over the month of January a photo competition on Reddit where you took a photo in-game with the in-game function of taking a photo, post it on Reddit, and you could win. And I actually won their photo competition, and I'm waiting to get a prize in the mail. So that is very exciting. I was one of 4 winners, and I feel very special. I feel really good about it, considering my back was broken the entire month, and I said, finally, something good is happening to me.
Good for you. You got a fake gamer award. Ugh.
I did.
Sorry. No, it's funny you mentioned that game again, because I remember you talked about it, and I was like, yeah, that was the game I wanted to try.
It's very, very fun.
I was like, Stardew with a speed-up mechanic. That sounds fantastic.
Literally.
The only thing, again, going back to like Persona also, is like there's no character creation really. You just play as the character Terra. Like that is just who you play as. But it's because the reason they do it is because there's voice actors for everyone, which is also really cool in a small indie game like this. They have specific voice actors for everyone and stuff like that, which is really, really fun. But that has been kind of my saving grace over the past month. And then if I haven't been playing games, I've been watching Five Nights at Freddy's playthroughs because I love horror, especially when I'm falling asleep. And I will not explain further.
Maggie, listen. Listen here. You like to watch horror game playthroughs while falling asleep.
Right before bed, yeah.
Calms your heart.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't even think it's the horror game itself. It's just like I'll put on like a Twitch stream or I'll listen to like you guys when you guys are playing a game and you're on Discord. Like I just put it on and I go to sleep because it's like hanging out with friends and I'm like, oh, we're in a safe space. Good night. But I've been trying to get into the Five Nights at Freddy's lore because I want to understand it more because I think it's really cool.
Good luck with all that.
I think it's really cool. So I've been watching all of Markiplier's playthroughs, which I'm 10 years too late, obviously. But it has been really fun because a new VR FNAF just came out recently and he just played through that. So he's like obviously adding to his playlist. But it's been really fun to watch that. And then the update for Poppy's Playtime just came out. Chapter 3 of Poppy's Playtime just came out, which is also a horror game. And so I've been watching like Jacksepticeye play it and other people play it and stuff like that. And it's just, I think why I'm watching it in particular right now is because I'm trying to get more into the horror genre because I think it would be fun to play even if I'm fucking terrified. I've always wanted to play those games. But being able to watch other people play it first and kind of get a grasp on it and not feel as scared makes me want to play it more because I'm like, okay, not necessarily that I know what's coming. It's just that I don't know, a little more prepared for it and not horribly terrified and gonna like piss my pants. So it's been fun to watch it from like other people's perspectives, especially Poppy Playtime has been fucking wild. If you haven't watched it, it's cuckoo bananas and really terrifying compared to Five Nights at Freddy's in my opinion. So
AMHO.
But that's what I've been up to. So
you must be in deep because when you said FNAF, I almost fucking lost it. Oh, God.
It's just easier to say it that way.
No, I get you, but I'm like, when you said it, I had never heard anybody say that before, so it caught me off guard, and I keyed in. I'm like, FNAF? Oh my fucking God! Like, I damn near fell out the chair because I rolled my eyes at myself for even thinking about it so hard.
I just made my my younger sister watch the movie because Floyd and I watched the movie together, and as Floyd and I were watching it, I was like, God, this is awful. This is bad. And then the movie ended and I looked at Floyd and I was like, wasn't that so fun? That was such a good time. And Floyd looked at me and he was like, are you okay? You were literally just saying how bad the movie was.
So bad it was good.
And I turned around and I was like, do you want to watch it again? He was like, right now? No, I don't want to do that. But it's so cheesy and campy, and that's what makes the movie fun. So I just made my younger sister watch it, and she hates anything horror. She is not a horror fan at all. And she was like, it's gonna be scary. And I was like, Sophia, they literally built the animatronics build a fort with a child in the movie. It's not gonna be scary. It's not scary at all, I promise you. And she watched it and she was like, oh, that was fun. And I was like, exactly. Exactly. So now we plan on going to see the second movie whenever they actually plan on making that together. But that's what my life has pretty much been like for the last 2 months. Stuck in bed, horror games, fun? Question mark? Sleep.
If you would have never carried us that night through that riveting series of games of Fall Guys,
that we forgot.
I think you would have been all right.
Listen, that is going to go down in history as one of my favorite gaming moments.
Yeah, you broke your back carrying the team.
Oh, Eddie, you know what? Thank God you're here because I meant to say this to you forever ago. I owe you for that win, honestly, because I would have got pushed off the fucking ledge if you weren't just like, okay, Maggie, here's what you're going to do. You were like, you're going to let go. He's going to try to push you. You're going to jump. You're going to grab him again. And you're going to push him off the edge. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it! Like a coach yelling in the back. I don't know if any of you have ever seen Cars 3, but it literally that exact same thing happened.
Wow, I was going to Rocky. We are from two different worlds.
In Cars 3, she's like, I'm not gonna make it. And he's like, yes, you are, if you just believe. And that's Eddie is my Lightning McQueen.
Listen, if there's anybody who knows about a good tussling match, it's me.
I was just like, I was thinking about it, and everyone was like, Maggie led us to victory. And in my head, I'm like, but it wouldn't have happened without Eddie. So,
hey, listen, when you carried me off the field on your back while shooting your gun, doing cartwheels, all I could do was yell in your ear, "You're doing great! Just keep going.
Keep going. Don't look back.
Hang in there."
And I did. I did it for the greater good.
You did it for the team. That's what matters.
Brian and I were playing last week, 2 weeks ago. We were playing some more Fall Guys.
Yeah, that was a bit ago now.
And that was very fun too. We were playing as a group, but it was just the two of us, and then it would like throw in like random people. And the first time we played, the two random people were awesome. We were kicking ass, taking names. And then the second time we played, the people were just hoping that Brian and I were good. Yeah. And we are good.
They literally stood at the, like, one of them couldn't finish. The other one, like, once Maggie and I got in, and, like, we're like, oh, the team's in second place, even though only two of us are in. Literally just stopped moving and just stood there. I was like, oh, well, we're going to make it either way.
And we would get pushed down to like 4th or 5th or something because obviously they were like weren't running through. Yeah.
And then we played casual mode, which is actually kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. That was really, really fun. Because Brian and I got to, with casual mode, you kind of get to like test out a bunch of the new maps, or a bunch of the maps in general. Obviously it's still randomized, but Brian and I were like, oh, there's no stakes in this. We just get to like fuck around on the map and like see, you know, how the gameplay works on it and stuff like that. And
yeah, and you still get a reward if you finish it.
Yeah,
and that one's
there was a casual mode.
Yeah, it's got to be fairly new because I don't remember seeing it.
I don't remember there being an option you could press other than play.
Yeah, but no, it's nice. So it's this thing built in. It kind of keeps too many assholes from being in there, just standing around and getting free points because if a certain amount of you don't finish, everyone fails, and then you don't get the final rewards. So you still have to like play the map and get through. It's just the stakes are so much lower, and instead of like a bunch of people trying to grab you to fuck with you, they're like moving platforms to help you, like shit like that. So
some real shit.
Yeah, it's honestly like I think if I get in the mood to play Fall Guys and I'm solo, I'll just jump in there because I'm like, this will be a much better time than being stressed out.
Exactly.
Listen, I got my 6 crowns. I doubt I'm ever going to win another one.
Yeah, I think that one win was my only win for the rest of my life, and I'll take it. I used to watch someone on Twitch who, when Fall Guys was like at its peak, I used to watch her play, and I recently jumped into one of her streams again, and she has a crown counter, because she still plays Fall Guys. She has a crown counter, like, at the bottom of her screen. She has won in the last, I don't know, 2-3 years, however long. She has won over 1,000 crowns. Which, if you're playing the game a lot, I guess that makes sense. But I clicked on it, looked at it, and went, oh my god, and I exited out of it. I said, I don't need to feel that bad about myself. You know, I don't need to feel that bad. Because I've played this game a lot. Not that much, but a lot. And I don't have a single crown. So, I'm good. I don't need to see that.
It's alright. Do what we came here to do.
We do what we came here to do.
My best runs were the couple of times I was on early waiting for other people to get on. And then I would win like 2 in a row. And then we'd get on into party mode and lose every fucking match. And I'm just like, I don't know where all my skill went, guys. I think part of it is like, if I'm doing it solo, I can just actually focus on the game. When we're playing together, I'm like making jokes and bitching and complaining. And we're talking. And I'm like, and the game is so secondary that I'm like, I don't give a fuck if we win or not.
No, that makes sense.
I mean, if it looks like we're going to win, then fuck that, we're winning, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always gonna like try, but it's like,
Hey, I mean, nobody has to care because if you're ever in doubt of you, know that I'm trying. So when I lost, yes, I was fucking mad. I didn't show it. Damn it, I was fucking trying.
yeah,
I
there's
hate to
certain
lose,
ones.
but I'm a good loser.
Yeah, there's certain ones where I'm just like, I'm not doing this. This isn't fun.
Yeah.
Like, there's maps that'll come up, and I'll be like, guys, I'm not doing this. I'm sorry. I'm gonna walk away, make coffee. I'm gonna die. I hope you get us through. Like,
Yeah, when we were playing, there was the one where it's like you have to push wooden blocks so people can like jump up on it and jump over the wall. And both Bryan and I were like, I don't give a fuck about this one. Like, this one sucks. But any of the like actual racing ones, we have to like get there the fastest. Those are fun to me.
yeah. Well, also that jumping one, like, very quickly showed you who was cheating.
Yeah.
Because, like, there were, like,
Absolutely.
3 people that just got through that without moving any of the stuff. And you can't make a lot of those jumps unless you move the platforms. And they literally were just somehow making these, like, extra long jumps from platform to platform that they shouldn't have been able to make. And, like, not even, like, diving and, like, somehow knowing the mechanics well. I mean, just normal jumps and just suddenly, like, making these huge gaps. And I'm like, yeah, you can't jump that far in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like in. And I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. Fuck you guys. Yeah, so Steam Next Fest is going on, right? To date the episode, even though the episode will be dated when it comes out, so who cares? Which means shit tons of demos to play. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. And I got a couple quick breakdowns in some games. So I played Millennia, which is something that's been on my wish list for a while. It's a 4X game. So like, you know, so like a Civilization or Endless Space. I got confused by the systems, overrun by barbarians, and killed. Will play again.
Yay.
Star Trucker. Finally, dads can truck in space.
Did you play it?
I did. I crashed my truck, accidentally turned off the power to my artificial gravity, couldn't find a new air filter, so I ran out of oxygen and died. 10 out of 10.
I have heard really good things about that game.
I'm definitely going to get into it.
Demo.
It is an actual like trucking game though. Like you have to kind of maneuver shit, and it's awkward. And I don't play those games, but because of the other stuff going on, I think I do plan on actually getting that at some point. Also, I think it's cool. There's a spacesuit. You know, obviously you're in space, and you go out your airlock and to fix your truck.
I'm so intrigued.
I saw someone playing it on Twitch a couple days ago, and the first thing you have to do pretty much is get out of your truck and like fix the hole. And they were like, okay, I put my suit on, I'm out of the truck, I'm rotating, I'm doing a cartwheel. I can't stop doing a cartwheel. How do I stop doing a cartwheel? They were like trying to get, because they're in zero, you're in zero G, obviously. So they're like trying to get to the front of their truck. And they were like, oh my God, I'm getting sick. I don't know how to stop this. Holy shit. How do I get to the front of my car? And I was just laughing the whole time because they were like, I don't know what to do.
I've never been to space before.
Yeah, I just made sure that I was constantly pushing towards my truck because I was afraid of just floating off into space. Which, at some point, I'm going to do. I'm just going to go, fuck it. And first mission, just be like, nope, bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, truck.
I've played Pacific Drive, which also has been on my wish list for a while. So, I know last week I said survival crafters were overrated and I would rather just play Minecraft. I retract my statement. So yeah, Pacific Drive, it's a survival crafter where you have your car, which is just like a beat-up station wagon. And there's a whole story about it's this weird area where time's different and weird shit happens, and yada yada. But part of it is like you have to upgrade your car, and your car is constantly like that's your safe space when you're out doing things. And so you go into these different areas. And I know there's going to be a more story element, so it's a survival crafter, but I don't think it's one of those ones that you can just play forever. I think it's pretty much like, it's honestly like there's a beginning and an ending point to it. But yeah, so I look forward to that one. That one's going to be really good. That a game called Mullet Mad Jack. Whew, boy. That is a roguelite boomer shooter.
Okay.
With insane over-the-top visuals. Like, very, like, post-punk, like, flashing lights. Think, like, kind of like, the anime style, like, around, like, the Akira. And all that area. Or, like, you know, like, if Kung Fury were a game, like, just kind of like the over-the-top, like, 80s, 90s-ness of it. It is super fast. Like, the premise is you're a streamer, which that it's a whole thing that they're doing, but whatever. That part doesn't matter. So the whole gimmick is you can only survive for 10 seconds unless the audience decides that you get to live longer, but you have to do cool shit to keep reloading, but you top out at 10 seconds. So the timer runs down and you run out of time, you die. So it's super mad dash to the end of the level, and like shooting a guy is like 3 seconds. Headshot, extra second. Nut shot, you know, maybe it's an extra second if you get that upgrade. You can kick people, but it's like super fast, and the control is very slick, but because of how fast paced it is, I did not enjoy it on the gamepad. It's definitely, I would say, like mouse, because you got to be able to like twitch shoot to stuff, and yeah, just gamepad never does that for me. So that's definitely one on my list. I think that'd be a lot of fun once I have a setup where I can trust using the mouse for a game that quickly. This is one that Shadow Producer Candle had recommended. He's got a list of stuff in there. Sort of Convallaria. So it's possible that it's a fun game. It's a tactical, you know, party-based RPG. The problem is I rage quit due to the over-tutorialization of the game.
Oh, your least favorite.
Yeah, exactly. So literally the first 2 fights, it tells you how to do this thing. You can't move your cursor, nothing. All you're doing is you hit the A button to select the action it just told you that you should do in this situation. And then you hit the A button again, and it targets the creature that it decides it wants to target to show you how to do this movement. I'm like, okay, so why isn't it all just a cutscene with dialogue then? I have to hit the A button so that I know how the A button works? So that was the first battle, and I was like, okay, cool, tutorial's done, whatever, now I can actually... Nope, second battle. Same exact shit. Between all of this, tons of, like, exposition, and I was just skipping through it at this point, because I'm like, well, why don't I actually try the gameplay out and see how that is? Because it's probably going to be the same recycled JRPG trash story, so I probably don't care. I can probably skip like half the story and go, oh, I know everything that's going on. But yeah, no, so I rage quit the fuck out of that. Make your tutorials optional. Fuck off with this shit. I'm so fucking sick of that.
Yeah, it's pretty wild that we are in the day and age of gaming that we are in, and they won't let you just turn it off. I feel like even if it's a newer game, like, I don't know, having the whole screen turn into a tutorial and having to do this thing as a tutorial is like not what people are looking for nowadays, so
I don't think... Who the fuck ever asked for it?
No one.
Like, when shit used to be over-tutorialized, people, all they did is complain about it, but you keep doing it.
Yeah.
Press A to jump. No fucking shit! There's like 8 buttons. I'll figure it out, motherfucker. And if I can't, you just put a little section in the fucking pause menu where I can look up controls. Oh, you have that already. Then why are you telling me? Hey, do you have little things where, like, I don't know, where something, like, oh, I don't understand this mechanic. Oh, okay. You can select it from here and we'll take you to the situation that explains the mechanic. Let me fucking figure it out.
Yeah. It's wild.
Just like, oh. Okay, anyway, moving on. So I played Rotwood, which is a new game by Cly, and I don't know if you guys have ever played their games. They did like Oxygen Not Included, and Don't Starve are kind of the big two of theirs I think of.
I have played Don't Starve.
Yeah, so like their kind of art style they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's their art style, which I love. It's great. It's both the cutie and also kind of disturbing all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely has a Castle Crashers vibe to it, which I know Shadow Producer Ken will mention. It has a lot more in common with Hades, though, as far as the gameplay goes when I was playing through it. It's very roguelite-ish, and you're doing runs out of a main base camp. The cool thing that co-op. So for me personally, like I swear every roguelite that I keep running into is just Hades again, and Hades 2 is coming out soon. So I'm not. Why? You're picking a really bad time to do a Hades clone. So this one's kind of like very based on. I don't know if you guys decide to get it, and we want to play as a 4-player squad, since we've never done Castle Crashers and talked about that forever. I would 100% be into getting it. I just don't see myself playing it as a single-player game.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be down.
Now that you mention it, I believe I own, and I'm literally having to check now, Don't Starve Together? That's not what you're talking about.
Well, it's the same. Yeah, that's the same.
Okay, yeah, I do.
So that's there as the game continued to like come into its own. Don't Starve Together was so you could play multiplayer.
Heard.
Yes.
Okay,
Which
so
I also own if you ever want to do that. I've literally never done that mode of it. I've only ever played by myself.
I have never started the game. Why? I do not know.
Hey, there's a game that doesn't hold your fucking hand, let me tell you. You're going to die and you're going to like it.
I might have to give it a shot.
Speaking of Hades clones, I also played a game called Realm of Ink, which is basically Hades in China. Once again, seems fun. Mechanics seem all right. Like you have this little, you have your pet Momo that follows you around, and depending on the elements of the two things that you have equipped, like your two special powers, all have different elements, and depending on how those will change what your pet is and what damage it does and its special attacks. So that whole thing is kind of cool. But once again, it's Hades again, and Hades 2 is coming out soon.
I can't wait for that shit.
I still need to play the first one.
It is really good.
And I'm just scared I'd get too frustrated.
Well, that's why you just play on the God mode then.
Yeah.
And then Balatro. Dear God, I've been playing so much Balatro.
I think I saw you post about it in the Discord.
Oh yeah, I had a single hand in this one run where I did 172,000 points in a single hand. And honestly, it could have been better, but I didn't organize my cards correctly, because one of my things was the face card, and it does double, but I had the face card up too far, and I should have moved it all the way to the back of the run so that all the bonuses would be up first. It's the whole thing. I don't need to get into it. And I finally said fuck it, and I deleted Dark Souls 3.
Oh.
Like, I wanted to do the New Game Plus and all that, but here was the problem. Every time that I thought of playing Dark Souls 3, I was like, yeah, or I could play Elden Ring.
Well.
And hey, I played through the first DLC, and that was pretty fun. And then I was really not enjoying the second DLC. And I was like, yeah, I don't actually care to play through this again, because I can just play Elden Ring. So I got all the enjoyment out of it I wanted. And what's funny is now they have Dark Souls 1 and 2 are on sale. And originally, for a while there, I thought to myself, I'm going to buy those and finally play them. Well, one I've played. But I was like, finally finish it and everything. And then the more I think about it, the more I'm like, no, I won't. I'll just play Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
I'll just play the good one. I don't see a point to go back to those. They're very, very much the same fucking game over and over. So I'll just play Elden Ring. I'll play. I want to play Bloodborne at some point, just because the whole style there is different. Maybe one day I'll finish Sekiro, but I didn't really like that. It was whatever.
I'm gonna try it out one day.
Listen, I have it if you just want to try it. Don't spend $60 on it.
That's why I haven't bought a new game in probably like 6 months or something. But like, because I have Game Pass and stuff like that, I'm constantly just looking at like what is there for free. Well, I guess not free, but you know what I mean.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah. No, you're using Game Pass the correct way to use it.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to try a different game out. Let me look. I'll try this out.
Even though they took Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 away from me, but that's fine, I guess.
Oh no.
I own Persona 4.
You want to lend it to me sometime?
Yeah, sure. How do I do that?
You want to just give me your whole computer sometime?
No. Also, that wouldn't help. I would have to give you. I would have to
whole Xbox.
Nope, but Steam account. I would have to give you my Steam account.
You want to give me your Steam account?
You want to buy the 400 games I have on here back for me?
Yeah, sure. I use Floyd's Steam account sometimes, but only to play any of the Jackbox games because he got that Humble Bundle that had all of them. So I'll hook up my laptop. I'll use his account, hook up my laptop to a TV, and play them all.
Nice.
Just Jackboxing it?
For me, yeah, because that's the only ones that I took from him.
Those are the ones she cares about.
Yeah, I don't care about any of his other boy games. Ew.
Those aren't visual
Gross.
novels.
They're not visual novels. That's disgusting.
Brian.
That's so gross.
Sorry, buddy. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you guys
were
play
quick with
actual games? That's crazy.
No. Me and Brian play actual games.
Yeah.
You and Floyd don't.
Well, no, that's why I recommend
saying.
that you play Hades on God mode because you're a girl, and with God mode,
I wouldn't be able to play.
You can do the story, and then it's just more like a visual novel for you.
Yeah.
So that's something you'll be able to.
You're so thoughtful and considerate. Thank you so much.
Right, and now let me explain to you what thoughtful and considerate mean, because I know that your weak womanly
because
brain
they're big
can't
words.
understand.
Yeah,
it.
First of all,
I actually heard it on TV. Did I use them correctly or?
Yeah, no, you're pretty close.
Okay,
but,
cool.
You know what?
I'll take it.
Make me a sandwich and we can talk about it.
This man is the quickest draw.
You know what's funny? I wouldn't have gone that far, but you kept playing along with it, and I was like, I can get this to a point where she's just not going to play along anymore.
It's fucked up, Brian, because you got the quickest draw in the Midwest. Because every time I was getting ready to say it, I'm talking about verbatim for a few of those, you came right there, and I was like, side character. I just said, stick this out.
He was just in the background going,
yeah, I was like, and then Brian was saying, I just shake my head like, slow count. You did it.
I'm sorry. Listen, let me be the asshole on this podcast. You be the nice one, okay?
But Floyd's on this podcast.
Well, but he's not today.
Okay. You know what? I can do that.
Yeah, people like you, Eddie. So let's just keep it that way.
It's true.
It's because I'm not a woman.
Anyway, this is close to my end time, so I don't know about
I've just got a couple quick bits of news here. This is stuff that I was thinking we'd get into, but we've been talking for a while, so I do want to touch on it like quickly, like just to. Yes, I am aware things happen. So y'all hear about the whole Epic and Disney thing?
Yes.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. They're not merging, but they're collaborating, I guess.
Yeah, well, Disney basically owns 10% of Epic now.
Yeah.
For $1.5 billion. Just to put that in perspective, they laid off 830 people in September. And anyone who's saying, "Well, but the deal went through now." Sorry to cut you off.
No.
Let me get through my slight anti-capitalist rant.
You do.
So that everyone can get the free
you do your thing.
And but that means nothing. Okay, look at this deal has been working. You don't make a $1.5 billion deal in a day. This shit has been in the works for probably up to a year, if not longer. Especially when you're talking about with Disney and how they're fucking ironclad their goddamn contracts are. So Epic knew it was getting this money. Now, I get it. Embracer Group also, quote unquote, knew it was getting $2 billion. And now they've just continuously been laying people off. the difference here is Embracer Group was going after Saudi money, which is notoriously fickle. If Disney's in talks with you and you're drawing up a contract, you're getting the money. You're getting the money. It's done. So fuck off. Fuck you, Epic. But hey, thanks for the free games though.
But I just don't ruin Rocket League. I just started playing it. I just don't like it.
I saw a TikTok and it was like, now that the Epic / Disney crossover has started, and it was someone and they were like pretending to play Fortnite. And it was like, okay, I just got bodied by the grandma from Encanto. Yeah, snap her neck. Like it was just like stuff.
Yeah, for the Fortnite kids, it'll probably be amazing. They just unlocked a whole new level of character.
Well, is that Elsa? Yep, Elsa just sniped us. Yep, go get Elsa. Like it was just like
it's snowing.
It's snowing. She's dead. Mm-hmm. Good job, team. Good job.
What was the snowman's name?
Olaf.
Watch out for Olaf. Olaf follow up. Just like I could just
follow up.
I could only I'm so glad I don't play Fortnite. Fuck those kids.
I've never played Fortnite in my life.
Wait, what'd you call them earlier, Brian?
Call who? What now?
The kids. What do we call the kids now?
Oh shit, I forgot.
The
up there's something.
Oh yeah, the up yours. Yeah,
up yours.
Yeah. Group boomer moment.
Boomer moment.
Yeah,
it's all that lead I've been eating.
It was a bam. Oh yeah, I had me a nice bowl of paint chips earlier.
You got to make sure you get them old ones. You know, the flavor's better.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
I have so much to say to you.
And uranium. They used to use fucking uranium to in dinner plates. That's another thing
true.
Too. That is very true.
I'm sorry.
There's chemical reasons why these old people need to go.
I
might bleep that.
I'm so happy I don't have like a button, like my air horn button, because I know a lot of random shit, but that's a first. I have not heard that one before.
You didn't know that? People take uranium, like, there's like little handheld machines that you can take to like check the radiation level.
Like the radioactive isotope uranium?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and people go to thrift stores and go over the plates and stuff like that, and some of them will like go off like beep 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 beep, and people are just buying them because they're like, that's a cute plate. You have no idea that it has uranium, because it can be either any of the like red painted ones or the green ones. I'm pretty sure both are pretty bad. But...
So
yeah, I know the green
will kill you back then.
What's up?
What was that, Eddie?
I said, so death by Christmas set?
Yes.
Not grandma's plates.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd be careful. Only take the ones with the blue. Those should be fine.
Yeah.
I can't wait till fucking Thanksgiving or Christmas. Now I'm eating off this paper plate. Thank you. I'm trying to kill.
It's like,
why are you talking to your grandmother like that? Lady's trying to kill me.
Fuck you, paper.
Smash it on the ground. I saved everybody here. You can hate me now, but you'll understand. No, you won't.
You'll understand 10 years from now. Oh no, you won't, because you're gonna be dead from
eating
off
this plate. Good times.
It's okay. What is it? Bananas are radioactive too.
It is true, but I
don't say that. What's up with you?
So the amount of bananas that you would need to eat in your entire lifetime for it to adversely affect your health, you'd have more problems than that by the time you're done with all those fucking
the sheer
bananas.
number of
like,
them. Yeah,
you would the sugar alone would fucking destroy you. And that's us saying that in the United States. My last one is, and we don't have like full news on this, but that's just, if we're gonna pretend to be a podcast about games and not just us talking, then I guess it has to at least be mentioned. You hear all the the Xbox fannies are freaking out because games are gonna come out on PlayStation now. It's been confirmed.
I did hear that.
Yeah, now we still don't have like the full. Phil Spector still hasn't spoken. That's coming later. I don't think this week, or it might have actually happened and we missed it. I don't care enough. The whole thing is, I called this shit years ago when they bought ZeniMax. Microsoft has not been in a console war for a long time. This shit is about making money. It's all it's ever been for anybody. And Microsoft has not given a shit about exclusives for a long time. They don't even post their the numbers for their consoles sold because they don't care. They're going to sell whatever consoles they sell. Like, Game Pass has been the big thing for them. Game Pass is just money. It's just them printing money.
Yeah.
Also, they haven't had exclusives. Almost everything that comes out on the Xbox comes out on the PC. So, therefore, it is not exclusive.
True, yeah.
And they want to open this up. The big thing here is console or whatever. It's been a fucking skirmish unless you listen to fannies on both sides. And the fannies on both sides are idiots, and nobody wants to hear your shit anyway. Like, I don't care. Play whatever console you want. Who gives a fuck? PC's better anyway, so kiss my ass. Anyway, we just gotta throw the grenade out. But yeah, no, the whole thing here is, why wouldn't Microsoft want to put their games on PlayStation? Like,
make more money.
The amount of consoles that are being sold for each brand is pretty locked in. Like, at this point, I continue to buy Xboxes because I've been using Xboxes so long, right? And I don't want to switch over. That's all that is for me. And I think a lot of the people that do PlayStation are the same thing. And then also remember, generally your friend group has the same console as you. So you can't just switch over. Your entire friend group would have to switch over. Like, we're pretty fucking locked in to these numbers and how they are. And we have been since probably about the PS2. The thing now is, and you even see this happening with PlayStation because Sony's getting wise to it, why we're getting a ton of these ports over to PC. Because they realize, that's just leaving fucking money on the table. And with the cost of AAA gaming going up to produce these games, cutting off any revenue stream is just stupid. So going forward, and I would be surprised if Sony also does not go this way in the future, I think what's going to happen is these so-called exclusives are probably going to have like a 1-year lifetime where they're on the one console. And remember, you're going to have to port it over to a new system anyways. That takes time. So instead of having it all done at once, your quote-unquote exclusive is like a year while you port it to the other systems. And then they're just going to go to the other systems. I would be very surprised if in the future that Sony first-party games don't also end up on Xbox. And Sony will probably likely do with their monthly service probably what Xbox is going to do, which is, our games are all going to be free, quote-unquote, on Game Pass to you. But if you want them on your PlayStation, you have to pay for them. Absolutely. But if you're with us on Xbox, you have all your games for free because you own the Xbox and you pay for Game Pass. And I feel like Sony will probably do that. Nintendo is such a big outlier in all this. There's no point. Nintendo first-party games are never going on anything but a Nintendo system. And they're probably one of the few consoles that could continuously get away with that. But that's just because they've been around forever, I think, at this point, too. So, that's how I think everything's going down. I think everyone's blowing it out of proportion, but I did, it's recent news, and I did want to, at least be on top of it. We'll probably have more to talk about next week, because I'm sure by then Phil Spencer will have said something, but I wanted to at least get that. I want to get that
out in the air.
I just go figure the one person that was here when I made that prediction in the apartment isn't on the podcast this week.
He's got better things to do.
I mean, I listen, people have lives. It's okay. This is becoming one of our longer ones, so anybody got anything else they would like to add this week?
I'm sleepy.
I'm good.
Hi, Sleepy. I'm grumpy.
What does that make Eddie?
I don't know, but Floyd's dopey because he's not here, so fuck him.
He's dopey. Eddie can be Doc. You can be Doc.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah. Well, in my mind, Bryan is Doc because he's the one that runs everything. He's the head of the group. And then I would be Sleepy. And then Eddie would be, I don't remember the other ones.
Yeah. I was going to say Google,
Sleepy.
but I don't know.
Is there Happy?
I don't know. Because Floyd's definitely grumpy.
I want to be Fighty.
No, that's not. Well, you know what? Yeah, sure. Sure.
You know what? We'll come up with the 7 gaming dwarves, and we'll have them next week for you. There you go. Yes. Reason to tune back in next week.
Her.
All right.
We are them, and they are us.
Yes. Thanks for putting up with us. We love
Love
y'all.
you.
Bye-bye.